Have you ever thought about what you can learn from autistic people? Even if you're neurotypical, don't click off this video. It could still be of value to you. Hello everyone, welcome to the first video on this channel where I'll discuss self-improvement and life from the point of view of a young person with autism. In the next 10 minutes, I'll be sharing some valuable life lessons that could apply to everyone, but that I feel are especially important for those who are neurotypical. So I created this channel and this video to share my experiences with you because I was diagnosed with autism at a very young age. And because of that, I know firsthand many of the curveballs and challenges that life can throw at people who identify as being on the spectrum. And if you can relate to what I'm about to share with you, or if you feel you can learn something new by listening to a young man with autism speak his mind, well, I can assure you you're in the right place. But just a disclaimer, I haven't lived life to its fullest just yet, so therefore, I myself still have a lot to learn from this game that we call life. Now take my hand and let's make this journey together. Firstly, don't worry excessively. As a person with autism, I can fully relate to this myself. For years now and ever since COVID, I've struggled with excessive worry and the effects of it have cascaded throughout my entire life. When you're worried about something 24/7, it prevents you from just living in the moment and enjoying yourself. Let me know if you can relate to this. You try to have a simple, fun night out with your friends, but you're not feeling the joy you're supposed to be feeling in the moment because you're worrying about a hypothetical or ambiguous situation that hasn't even happened yet. Even worse, worry stops you from getting a good night's sleep. I've learned this myself the hard way countless nights when I was unable to stop my brain from racing with thoughts and worries about many different things. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. What if I can't do this? What if that happens to me? What if I can't sleep tonight? And then, when you become obsessed with fixing your sleep and stopping yourself from waking up in the middle of the night, it creates a ripple effect that makes your sleep even worse and can cause full-blown insomnia, which creates another ripple effect that drastically lowers the overall quality of your life. Ever felt groggy and tired throughout the day and lacking motivation to focus on anything? Maybe your worries are at the root of it. So when I say that you need to stop worrying excessively, I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart. And if you can't stop worrying, that leads me to the next lesson, which does not just apply to mental health issues. Don't be afraid to seek help if you need it. Whether it's for autism, anxiety, depression, or because you don't know how to run a business all by yourself, it's perfectly okay, normal even, to ask for help. Do you think even the most successful people are able to get by without a little bit of help in their lives? Of course not. This could be just me, but I feel that there's a sort of stigma around getting support, at least for mental health. So if you're struggling with any sort of issues that you feel are holding you back, don't be afraid to get support. I did Cognitive Behavioural Therapy, known by its abbreviation CBT, for my anxiety issues, and it helped me stop worrying so much, which in turn made an overall improvement in my mental health. As I'm writing this video, I'm thinking about what my anxiety would look like had I not gotten the help I needed, and I can say with confidence that the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of seeking help. What makes more sense to you, the pain of discomfort or the pain of regret? This is arguably even more important if you have a neurodivergence such as autism. People who are not neurotypical generally need extra support and accommodations to get by in their day-to-day lives. Like most things, this is not the kind of circumstance where a one-size-fits-all approach is appropriate, but common approaches to supporting neurodivergent individuals include speech therapy and special accommodations during their schooling, just to name a couple. Now, the next life lesson that I want to share with you is that perfection is your worst enemy. Nothing and nobody is perfect, so stop trying to be perfect for yourself. Stop trying to be perfect around others, and stop caring if other people think that you're imperfect. If you're trying to learn a skill, stop waiting until you've mastered it before trying to apply it in the real world. The learning process doesn't stop with 1 lesson, or 10 lessons, or even 100 lessons. In reality, the act of learning skills, lessons, activities, etc. is a lifelong journey that you should neither be prepared or wanting to stop. Even once you think you've got everything down, don't try to aim for perfection, otherwise it'll severely hurt your confidence, your productivity, and your self-esteem. I struggled with this myself as recently as 1 year ago when I was still pursuing my old goal of getting into the video game industry as a 3D artist. But I gave up on that goal after burning myself out and discovering what I think I really want to do with my life. When I was faced with a hard task such as modeling a complex prop that I knew would take me days or weeks at least, then perhaps my biggest safety behavior and one of my worst habits would be to distract myself with a YouTube video or browsing the internet, And admittedly, I still struggle with this myself to this day sometimes. As a result of that, I took months to finish what by industry standards should take days, all while struggling to make it the perfect portfolio piece. So yeah, don't try to aim for perfection, because it's very hard to get in this world. And the fourth and final lesson that I'd like to share with you is, don't be afraid to change or even abandon goals that no longer serve you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be in control of your own life if you want to achieve true success, whatever that may mean to you. Look, not everyone wants to be working a 9 to 5 or a night shift, especially if it's a job you hate or if it doesn't even pay enough to cover the bills, right? I'm not saying that you should quit your full-time job if you don't have another way to sustain yourself financially, but what I am saying is that if you have a goal or a task that you want to complete but you no longer feel the drive to do it, and if it is not something that's absolutely essential, you should consider abandoning it. A goal that you may want to consider abandoning should fulfill any of these criteria. Number 1, you're no longer interested in it, but you're still doing it just to finish what you started. Number 2, it causes you too much stress and anxiety. Number 3, it drains your time and energy and it feels unfulfilling. And perhaps most importantly, number 4, your heart is telling you that you would much rather be doing something else. This is especially important when you're choosing a career, because that's perhaps the single most important decision that anyone will make in their entire life. When I used to do 3D art, I rushed into it because at first, I was really passionate about getting into the video game industry. I played video games all the time in my kids and teens, and I even begged my parents for at least a year or two to get me a Wii console until I finally did at Christmas one year back in elementary school. Gaming was the career that I chose to pursue after I left high school several years later, but after I officially began pursuing that goal, a lot of other things happened between then and now, including, but not limited to, all 4 of the criteria that I just listed. Ultimately, the combination of many different factors, both internal and external, led me to give up on 3D art entirely and pursue something else in life. And after all of that, sometimes I wish that I could go back in time and undo the last decade of my life. And the moral here is that you should never rush into a decision that will determine the rest of your life, especially your career goal, and know that it's not too late to start over, especially if you're my age. And that brings an end to this video. If you'd like to join this conversation, then comment down below the lessons that you've learned, whether or not you have autism like I do. And if you'd like more tips and viewpoints from a young person with autism, then make sure to subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video to continue the journey.